Hey guys, my name is Ali Al Karaguli. I am a postdoctoral fellow and a systems engineer at the NASA Jet Propulsion Lab. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you my ADHD memory system, basically a system I have built that helps me remember everything. Not only that, it helps me remember things and take action on them and turn my dreams into reality. And this same system is what helped me get my dream job at NASA, helped me graduate a PhD at only 26 years old, helped me grow my first engineering YouTube channel to around 30,000 subscribers, and it helped me also just achieve a lot of cool things in life. And what I really want to go ahead and do is explain the system to you. But before I explain the system, I want us to agree on two things, okay? Because when I talk to a lot of my entrepreneur friends or a lot of my friends who have not studied physics or engineering, there are two things that they really seem to not understand. First is that for every action, there's a reaction, right? Newton's law. This is very, very common sense, but common sense is not common practice. A lot of videos I see on YouTube are of people. A lot of them are like law of attraction gurus, manifestation gurus. God bless them. I know they're well intentioned. Like they will tell you that just kind of sit down and imagine things and kind of think about what you want, and you will attract things to your life. Like you will, like things will just kind of magically come and sit on your lap. Now, obviously, these videos get millions of views, tens of more views than this video will ever get, because it's so nice, right? Like, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want to just sit down, close your eyes, and imagine things, and things come sit in your lap? Now, if you studied physics, or if you've like been on this planet long enough and you've thought deeply about things, that's not how it works. Like, obviously, manifestation works. Manifestation is intention plus action. You need to take action. You need to go and acquire things from the world, and I'll prove it to you. If you have a job right now, you went and filled out an application. You applied for that job. You talked to someone. You did something. You took some action that created a bend in the universe, right? And that got you the results. That's one thing we should agree on, is that action causes reaction. And if you have a desired reaction or a result in life, such as growing your business, attracting a great partner, having great relationships, traveling the world, being in great shape, you're going to have to take the right actions, right? So action is inevitable. There's no other way around it. It's going to require work, right? Now, the second thing I want us to agree on is that ideas in and of themselves are meaningless, right? The only thing that makes ideas worth something is your ability to bring them into the real world, right? And I was actually reading Elon Musk's new biography, and there was a story about Tesla and I'm sorry, not Tesla. It was a story about PayPal, Elon Musk's second company, which he founded with Peter Thiel. And there was a lot of fights between Elon and Peter. And there's another guy, his name was Levgen, I think, and there's like a bunch of people just fighting and disagreeing on things, and that kind of delayed them for a whole year from writing the software for the product. And Peter Thiel, I think it was said in the book, well, like we got so lucky because even though our idea was brilliant, but because no one else was building something similar to us, no one else was competing with us, we got really lucky and we got away with it. And even though despite our delays, we went ahead and we succeeded. So even though you have a great idea right now, there's a good chance that someone else has the idea. And if you're super, super, super lucky, like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and whatnot, you may not have a competitor right now, but soon enough you will. If you wait too long, you will. So again, that's point number two, is that whatever idea you have in your head, you could have $1 million idea in your head. You could be the next Elon Musk, but unless you take action and implement that idea in the real world, that idea is meaningless. With these two things in mind, let me go ahead and explain what this system is. So system is called CAS. It's composed of four different things. First is capture, actionize, start, schedule, and I'm going to give you examples of how I actually use this. This is not just going to be a theoretical lecture. I'm going to actually show you how to use this. But basically, the idea is that the first step starts with capture, right? And capture is basically you grabbing the idea from the air. And obviously, when I say the air, it's really your brain. So your brain is a popcorn machine, right? It's just popping a lot of ideas, especially if you're someone with ADHD or higher up on the ADHD spectrum. I have ADHD myself. I was diagnosed when I was 26 years old. I'm 27 now. So ever since I learned this stuff, it's been crazy. I was unaware of it. And when you're higher up on the ADHD spectrum, what happens is your brain, you just have more thoughts on average. Your brain is like a popcorn machine, just one idea after the other. And unless you capture these ideas, unless you write them down somewhere, unless you document them somewhere, they're going to keep going on about, right? Like, because you first need to capture it, reason with it, and then decide whether you want to implement it or not. Now here, what I have is there are two mediums in which you can capture your ideas. There's digital mediums and there's physical medium. A physical medium is something very simple. Could be like a notebook, like pen and paper. or like something you write with physically or writing on your wall. I write on my wall sometimes. I know people think I'm crazy for that. But like basically you're writing something in the physical world in the hope of remembering it. For example, something like a little note or like a sticky note or like something that you can write with. That's a physical system for capturing ideas. Or another one is digital, whether it could be the phone app, the notes app on your phone, or it could be something like this, like the stickies I have over here. So some type of medium in which you can capture the ideas digitally, right? That's step number one. Is whenever you have an idea in mind, you can. Oh my god, this plugin is so annoying. I was testing it out because someone recommended it to me. I'm gonna get rid of it. But so whenever you have something in mind that is worth capturing, an idea, you basically capture it, right? Now, a very simple example of that is basically going and saying like, oh, maybe I just come up with an idea for a YouTube ad and I say, oh, ad hook. Maybe what I just said, like if your brain is a popcorn machine, or like maybe I say, oh, I forgot to text Evan, my friend. Maybe text Evan back, make Loom for Evan about software. Like just whatever ideas that come into my mind. Oh, maybe I should change landing page button color or something like that. Obviously, you should not waste your time on something like that if you know a thing or two on business. But so the idea is that the idea come to you and you immediately write it down somewhere. And the nice thing about this sticky right here is it's just available to you at all times. Whenever I have my computer open, I just like dump ideas over here. I dump ideas and I just kind of write them. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people take notes and they're quite good at taking notes. But where most people go wrong is they don't take the second step in the process, right? So in the system cache, first is capture, second one is actionize. So you need to actionize those ideas. And what I mean by that is that's a verb that I invented. I'm pretty confident that does not exist in the English language. And I mean, English is not my first language anyway, so I can do things like that. But basically, you take whatever is in here, and then you turn it into an action, right? Like for example, in this case, I wrote an idea. Like I came up with an idea for an ad hook, and I say, "Oh, if your brain is a popcorn machine." Most people will have these ideas just sitting there, but you have to turn it into an action, right? You have to turn it into something that you can act upon and implement. Again, because based on the two principles we discussed, if you don't turn the idea into an action, and if you don't act, your idea is worthless. It's just going to sit in your notes or in your brain or whatever. So what I usually do is instead of I go through my notes. Let's say at the end of every single night, I do something called my evening protocol. It's a very short, simple evening routine. Contrary to popular belief, like routines are actually very, very important. Anyone who tells you screw routines probably have routines themselves. They just like don't know it, or they're, I don't know, like they're trying to sell a different message. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn this idea into an action, right? I'm gonna actionize it, and instead of ad hoc, if your brain is a popcorn machine, I'm gonna go and rewrite this as make an ad, well, or record, let's say YouTube video ad with the title, if your brain is a popcorn machine. What that will also require me to do is make an outline for the ad, body, CTA, etc., for example. And then let's say, for example, like I want to say, okay, so I'm going to record the ad. I'm going to make an outline with the ad. And then maybe also like go on YouTube and see if similar ads exist. Now, what I've done is I've created 3 different actions. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my idea that came to my head, and now I can I have actions. And then the same thing, like text Evan back, that's already an action. Make loan for Evan, that's already an action. Change landing page is already an action. Here, before this video, I wrote people want longer videos, examples, go in detail. That's because my previous video was very, very short, and a lot of people in the comments, which thank you guys who did that, said, nope, go in more detail, tell more stories, provide more information. So now I can I'm doing I can take that and I can say add more detail and go in depth in next video, right? That's an action, right? So basically the idea is whatever you capture in terms of ideas, you always want to turn it into an action, right? Because again, it's the action that causes the reaction, and the reaction is the results that you desire in life, right? Now that's step number 2. Step number 3 and 4 are counterintuitive, right? Most people will say, okay, now that I have singled out some actions and I am ready to schedule them, I'm going to I'm gonna text Evan tomorrow. I'm gonna change my landing page color later on this week. And if that was the case, then we would have these reversed, right? We would have schedule and then start, right? We would schedule something and then we would go ahead and start it. But that's not the case over here. And there's a very good reason for that. One thing about me that I think also compared to a lot of other people I see, the reason I get things done with speed is I have an opt out, not an opt in system when it comes to doing work. And what I mean by that is whenever I identify a task worth doing, it doesn't really matter the time. I mean, it's 3:18 a.m. as of the time I am recording this. What I do is I basically tell myself, how are my energy levels right now? Are they good? Am I tired? Am I exhausted? Or am I okay? What's stopping me from doing it now? Right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and schedule it. Okay, fine. We're going to start, folks. I'm not going to sit here and schedule it. Okay, I'm going to uninstall this thing after the video. But I'm not going to sit here and this kind of a little tangent, but this one thing I hate about like a lot of productivity softwares is I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it old school. Sometimes friends recommend things to me. I test them out and I'm like, okay, you know what? This works. This doesn't work. But then quickly like turns into something super, super annoying. But anyway, experiments are good. Try things out. But what usually wins is keep it simple. Keep things old school. Anyway. So what I was doing is I was explaining how scheduling and starting happen in reverse. Okay. So you need to basically start and then schedule. And what I mean by that is you have to opt out of the task. You have to ask yourself, what is stopping me from recording the YouTube video ad right now? Why can't I do it now? And if there's a very strong and compelling reason, then you say, okay, why can't I do it in 1 hour? Why can't I do it in 2 hours? Why can't I do it in the morning? And this right here is a like 10x speed multiplier because this is not how most people think about their work. Most people will say, oh, I got to make a loom for Evan to do the software thing. Why can't I do it now? What's more important right now, right? And this is a very big prioritization hack that most people don't implement. And I think it's crazy because it's so simple yet so powerful. What do a lot of people do? A lot of people spend time on Instagram. A lot of people schedule something and say, okay, tomorrow at 6 p.m., I'm going to go do, I don't know, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write my new video sales letter for my website, right? And because they have said, okay, between now and 6 p.m., I'm going to do it, I'm going to go do my day job, or I'm going to go pick up the kids from school, or I'm going to go do something like that. But the problem is now you have a 15, 20, 30-minute gap somewhere in the day. And because you've scheduled the thing at 6 o'clock, you're just going to go on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever your favorite social media app is, or you're just going to sit there and waste time. You're not going to do anything. Versus if you have the mindset of, I'm going to do this thing now. Oh, I can't now. I'll do it in 1 hour. Why can't I do it in an hour? Okay, in my case, let's say, I don't know, I'm tired, I need to sleep. Okay, what time am I waking up? 8 o'clock. Okay, why can't I record it at 8 o'clock? Okay, 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be groggy, I'm gonna be tired, sleepy. I need to take a shower, I need to. Okay, how about 8:30? Okay, not 8:30. I need 9. I need to go. Okay, I need to go to work. Why? What time do I come back from work? 5. Okay, am I gonna be hungry at 5? Why can't I record it at 5? And basically, like, you keep drilling your brain and annoying the shit out of your brain in a very loving way until you get the thing done, right? And again, this is very, very powerful because most people don't do this. Most people are like, oh, I'm just going to wait until this time, arbitrary time in the day to do it. And then basically, only if you can't start it now, then you schedule it. And again, you schedule it while having this start thing in mind, okay? Again, very, very, very powerful way to think about productivity, okay? So this is basically how I would do it on my computer. I want to also give you a very quick example of how I would do it on my phone. This is my phone right here. It's sitting in this really nice box that reminds me to not use it when I'm doing things that are important. So basically, this is my iPhone. And basically, just like how I had a sticky note in here, the way my phone is set up, I have this Notes app right here. And when I click on the Notes app, it basically breaks me to my notes. And I have all these notes written from a few days ago that I haven't had the time to go through them. So basically what I'm going to do is right after I'm done recording this video, I'm going to sit down and go through these notes and see what I can actionize, what I cannot actionize. And if I still have the energy, I'm going to go ahead and take action on them. And if I'm like genuinely feeling exhausted, tired, like I know that mathematically is going to be far less efficient for me to try to do the thing rather than just get some sleep and wake up and do it in the morning. Only then am I going to schedule to wake up and do it in the morning, right? And because I do that, I'm going to be way faster than a lot of people out there in the arena. But yeah, anyway, this is pretty much the system. It's called CAS. I really encourage that you implement it. If you're not taking notes already, start taking it, especially someone with ADHD. And if you're not actionizing it, if you're not turning your ideas into action, again, you're not going to bring them to the real world. Once you turn the idea into an action, try to do it immediately. If you can't do it immediately, only then schedule it, and schedule it like very soon, right? Do not give yourself an excuse, and keep drilling and asking yourself why you would start or not start something. Okay. If you found this useful, I've made another video somewhere that should show up over here on my complete productivity system and how you can actually double your productivity using a very similar ADHD method. Yeah, go ahead and check it out. If you're new to the channel, drop a comment and say hi, but go and watch this video. You're going to love it. Peace, love.